What are we calling this? Is this a podcast?
Red.
It talks
Clash.
Good morning, everyone. This is Reddit Talks Clash. I am Rick. Also with us today, co-hosting this, we got Spencer, Sam, and Liam. All four boys back together, dude. How you guys doing? It's been a while.
It has been a while. Yeah, doing good, thank you. Had 10 days of Italian sun and feeling refreshed.
Yeah, I don't know. All you guys took cool vacations, and I just went to a lake and got swimmer's itch all over me. So hopefully you're doing better.
I mean, I managed to avoid getting sunburnt for an entire 10 days in 35-degree plus heat, so I think that's a win for me.
Liam, you're still gone, right?
What do you mean? I mean, not sure what you mean by gone, but
Are you at home? Or are you in a different country?
I'm in a different country. I'm at the Olympics right now, actually, live at the Olympics.
You're like, what do you mean by gone? You're in a different country. Of course
Well,
that means gone.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's I don't consider that gone, but
Oh my, right, shut up. Moving on.
Today, we're going to be talking about the 12th anniversary. A lot of looking back to 2012. And we're going to hit up all the anime stuff that's going on in the game right now. And then talk a little bit about the state of the game and all the normal stuff. Oh, also, before we get going to, going to give away some of the War Arena sceneries, the ones you buy with CWL notes. So at the end, we always solicit questions from you guys for us to talk about right at the end. So we're going to pick two of our favorite questions that we get asked at the end and give those two people war sceneries. And then also, I have 5 more beyond that to give away, and we're going to do that through Twitter. But first, I need to look up the Twitter rules or how to do a giveaway on Twitter. I'm going to edit that in to the downloaded version, and then we'll choose five people through Twitter to give a war scenery to as well. So you're going to have to download it and figure that out after I figure it out.
So yeah, everyone, make sure you start thinking of your questions now because we will be asked them at the end, and then obviously the best ones will get 2 war sceneries. So try plot them now.
All right, so here's the deal. I have a Twitter. I don't use it too much, but it's there. It's the best way I can figure out how to give stuff to all you classy folks who download our podcast. Find me on Twitter or X now, whatever. It's at CoolRickReddit. Easy. There's also a link in the show notes. Don't worry about it. I tweeted out a link to our podcast trailer from our YouTube page. Go ahead and retweet that. Say something nice about us if you want. That'd be cool, but it's not required. In a week, I'll draw names from that, and everyone who wins, I'll contact you privately and send you the voucher code. I think the way Twitter works is you need to follow me or interact with me in some way before I can send you a DM. So maybe do that. You can remove or block me right after. I don't really care. Won't hurt my feelings. Good luck, everyone, and thanks for listening and sharing some love for us through your socials.
Starting us off, it's the anime season. So I figured being mods, there are certain stereotypes that come along with that. What anime do you dorks watch?
I don't. I don't watch anime.
Don't lie. Come on, don't lie.
I don't either. I'm not a dork like a
one or two of my friends watch anime and have tried to I've watched some anime with them because they're like, oh dude, this you have to try it. It's sick. So I think I've watched an episode or 2 of Attack on Titan, and I've definitely watched one other. I've watched a few episodes of something else. I can't even tell you what they are though. I just kind of get roped into watching it. I'm not a regular watcher.
What ones have you guys watched then?
I haven't watched any full. I started One Piece, but I just never got into it. I was more the manga reading type of guy.
See, that's the same. Basically, that's the same.
Yeah, but I guess then One Piece.
One Piece is the one that has 2,000 episodes or some nonsense, right?
Yeah, I didn't finish it completely though.
The thing I always hear about One Piece is you have to watch the first 400 before it gets entertaining.
Jesus Christ.
A lot of commitment.
This is why I don't watch anime, clearly.
I know. Spencer, what animes do you watch? Come on, I know you do. You can't tell me I'm the one who's watched the most anime out of us all.
0, zilch, zip, none.
So Rick, you're the only one who watches anime then.
I know, yeah, I know. I'm the most outspoken anti-weeb among us, but apparently I've watched the most anime. I watched a little bit of Dragon Ball Z growing up just because it was I would get home from school and it'd be on Cartoon Network. So I watched
fair enough.
like just some of Dragon Ball Z, the Cell Saga, I think, is the one that I've seen, and not really much before or after. And then after years of hearing one of my friends talk about it, I did finally sit down and watch Attack on Titan. I still haven't seen the finale because they haven't bothered to like translate it yet. But Attack on Titan was actually kind of cool. Pretty good.
Yeah, I've never like disliked anime when I briefly watched it. I just never really, I don't know, cared that much.
So there was another one that aired right after Dragon Ball Z called Outlaw Star that I thought was pretty cool when I was a kid. So I guess I've watched 3 anime series, partially at least.
You are the biggest weeb ever.
Apparently, dude, out of us, apparently. I looked up whether Avatar: The Last Airbender is anime, and technically it's not because it wasn't made in Japan.
I watched that as well.
Yeah, like I would say that would be like the one that I really enjoyed if it were anime, but apparently it's not.
The one I enjoyed as well was Naruto. Although I always say it with the French version of that, Naruto.
Like I only know what that is from. Remember years ago when people were jokingly planning a raid on Area 51?
Oh my god.
Yep.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, then and all the memes were like talking about the Naruto run when you throw your arms back or whatever.
Yeah, that's the only reason I know it. It's the run, yeah. I wasn't like obviously Clash have done this whole anime season, but I do wonder how many of their players have ever actually watched anime.
Is the Clash theme just anime in general, or is it one specific anime?
No,
that
it's anime in
references-
general. I think from
'Cause
what I've
the-
been reading on Reddit, they've got references to quite a few different animes in that scenery and stuff.
There are like weebs arguing with each other on Reddit about like what references what. So it is like fairly
nice.
generic enough to get people
Well, it
arguing.
has to be
at
very
least.
generic enough not to get a copyright, claim or something, or a lawsuit, because I don't think they've actually collaborated with anyone, have they? They've just kind of
No, not in this. If this were a collaboration, like it'd be, branding all over it. The only specific reference I think I've seen is there's a barb in the scenery that came out today where he kind of charges up like a Super Saiyan and then he just farts or something.
Oh yeah, I like those little kind of hints though, like winks at
Yeah,
the
little
anime
Easter eggs
community.
to different stuff. It's kind
they're
of fun. Like,
I mean, there's a ton of Easter eggs. I mean, the Chief's Journey thing that was added like a year ago. There's quite a few Easter eggs in there, like quotes from films and stuff. So they're not afraid to do it.
if you'd have showed me the scenery, I would never have picked like anime as the theme. But maybe it's like we said, none of us are really familiar with anime.
What do you think of the scenery generally?
It looks like maybe a better version of the Books of Clash one to me. But I think it's a fine scenery, but I don't think there's anything like special about it. Like maybe there is if you can pick out all the different Easter eggs for it.
Yeah, I kind of thought it was a little bit basic. I mean, I quite like the art style, but I quite like when Clash sceneries have a lot going on. Lots of different like moving parts, or just lots of like loads of details, and obviously they've got some references in there, but it doesn't really feel like it's packed full, which I kind of usually quite like with sceneries.
What do you guys think of the skins? I know the skins are getting people all riled up.
They're fine.
What's the reason people are getting riled up on it? Because I feel like some of them are glitching, maybe. Like in the challenge.
The RC glitches, but a lot of people are just saying like they don't really look anime at all.
Yeah, I think they look completely different from the rest of the general Clash theme, which is maybe why I don't kind of like them. They feel out of place a bit.
Yeah, no, they just look a bit weird, and I think the photos of them, like in some of the promotional material, looks like kind of cool, but I don't know. Actually, in game, and yeah, it just feels like they've just gone a bit cartoony. I'm not sure if it's necessarily anime, but I'm not sure I'm the best authority on the subject either. So
yeah, I might actually buy the Warden because the Warden has such a ridiculous, ugly animation, but he stands out like really well. Like he does these weird 360s every time he hits, and I don't know, but it makes him really easy to track. Like so you figure out where he is.
Do you lose
So,
your warden
and-
often?
Yeah, like no, but I can see in the future there would be attacks where it would be nice to know where the different heroes are. Like I always have a problem like picking them apart. So when the warden's in the middle of the king and queen, it's nice to be able to, identify him and know he's not one you need to care about.
I mean, to be fair, like I did recently put my invisible pet on the warden, and then I kind of forget where he is. So that is a thing that can happen when you kind
You
of
put the spirit fox on the warden?
What? Yeah. I was
Yeah,
like,
because
what were
I
you
was
doing that for?
upgrading.
Why?
I was upgrading my owl. And I was like, I don't know what else to put on him. So,
Poison
you put
lizards?
Diggy or lizard on him.
well, I have them on the other heroes. But yeah, anyways,
Do you not use your
Put
spirit
the
fox as
lizard
your
on if not the warden.
RC?
I use Diggy on the royal champion and
Okay.
Spirit Fox, yeah, on the warden then.
But the warden hardly gets targeted, so that's interesting.
Oh yeah, but like he has lots of life. He stays alive longer, and if he doesn't get hit when he's invisible, so I thought it was a good idea, but clearly not, I guess. But anyways, speaking of the anime skins, I actually didn't really like the
Why
skin,
is it so
but
uncomfortable when we're talking about him?
I really enjoyed the video they made. Did you guys see the video as well? And what are your thoughts
I did
about
not
it?
like that video.
You didn't like the video? I thought it was well made.
No, there's no like talking or like audio in it. It's just music. That's it.
But just the graphic design of it, like the kind of story they made.
Yeah, I
thought it
was ready to hear some anime voices, but no.
Right, I'm watching the video now. I'm getting myself caught up.
Yeah, you're not
should have done
missing
this
much.
before the episode, Sam. Shall we move on then to 12 Years of Clash?
Yeah, Liam, I'm with you. This video is kind of cool.
Thank you, Sam. Finally, we agree on something.
Yeah, like the design of the heroes in those animations is cool and looks good. It didn't translate well to skins, I think.
No, it did not translate well. Especially not 3D skins, I think. I think it just looks weird.
Mm-hmm. So just thinking back 12 years ago, the summer of 2012, like what were you guys doing 12 years ago? This is the segment of the podcast where Rick feels old.
Okay. 12 years
Yeah.
ago, I was 6 years old.
Oh my gosh.
So
Still in diapers,
I don't know.
running around.
I don't know what I did. Did I have a Wii by then? I might have had a Nintendo Wii around that time. Yeah, no, I think I did. So I've been playing, like Lego Star Wars, and whatnot. I think that's a bit. I don't think I was playing Minecraft by then, so I don't think I would have been doing that. I think Lego games, Mario Kart, etc. on the Wii is what I was doing 12 years ago.
What about you? What
Well-
about you two?
Yeah, I actually did my homework for this part. I went to my mother's Facebook and I scrolled back for about 10 minutes straight. And I found out that on August 4th of 2012, I was in Hawaii at the
Ooh.
Pineapple Dole Plantation doing the maze that was there.
How old are you in 2012, Spencer?
I was about, I don't know, 20.
20.
I can't remember.
Dude, do your current age and take away 12.
Man, I just
Aren't
woke
you a
up.
math? Aren't you a math teacher?
Dude, yeah, it's not like I'm a math teacher or anything.
So
Jesus Christ.
so
I was about
You
like 10.
would have been
Okay.
9. You would have been 9.
Yeah.
Wait,
And
how old are
then-
you now, Spencer?
Okay, Dave,
Something
here's
like
some
that.
other good math. If you do 10 plus 12, you'll probably get it.
So 22.
Liam, what were you doing in 2012, Liam?
So in 2012, I was in France, in high school, and I actually got that's the time period where I first like had my first relationship. So I was kind of just growing up as a young man.
He was in a
and,
different school. We didn't know her.
What?
Yeah.
And yeah, no, it was actually a fun time. I wasn't really playing any games yet. I mean, other than Clash. But that's kind of when I started, and it was funny because I feel like I had a lot less responsibilities. Life was much more fun, even though at the time all I wanted to do was grow up. And now that I'm grown up, it's like all I want to do is be back young again. No
How old are
responsibilities.
you in 2012 then?
Dude, why you
12
gotta
years
get
old.
so deep?
I'm always the year, whatever year it is.
What?
Oh, yeah,
So
What
like
are
in
you
some
saying?
2013 I was
coming up,
13, in
Liam.
2014 I was
Okay.
14. Like, so I was 12, basically.
Liam, your birthday's coming up
Thank you, Spencer, for doxing
very
me
soon.
on the podcast. But yeah, so I was just a young boy, so that was fun.
In 2012, I was deployed. I was in Kyrgyzstan at Manas, which is
Oh,
like,
sick.
yeah, it was pretty boring.
What were you doing in Kyrgyzstan?
Kyrgyzstan
It's
was
close
an
to
air base.
Afghanistan?
It was pretty much our way in and out of Afghanistan because
Right.
it's on the northern border. So that's where
Yeah.
like most people coming in and out of Afghanistan and most supplies would go through Kyrgyzstan and stop there for a couple days and then head on down.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, I did look up other big 2012 events too.
Oh, yeah?
The
What
London
else
Games were
happened in
going on.
2012?
Yeah, Lance Armstrong got busted and stripped of all of his wins from the Tour de France. Clash could take a lesson from that. Mitt Romney became this is all in August. Mitt Romney was nominated for the for the Republican side.
Republican ticket, yeah.
Voyager 1 hit interstellar space. That's when Julian Assange went into the Ecuador embassy and when he got asylum. But
Ooh.
2012 wasn't like a huge year overall. Like I couldn't find a whole lot of news thinking back there. Like Benghazi happened.
I mean, look,
that was kind of a big thing.
London Olympics would be the big thing here in 2012.
Yeah, like Windows 8 came out. I don't even know what Windows we're on now. 11. It
11,
doesn't
yeah.
feel like too many. George Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin thing happened. The Queen's Diamond Jubilee.
That was 2012. I remember celebrating that in primary school.
Oh, in 2012, we all found out the mines were full of because the world didn't end.
Oh, yeah. I forgot the world was meant to end then.
Yeah, and then while you guys were getting the training wheels off your bikes, I got engaged in 2012.
Damn.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Still got the same one, or?
Yeah, same. First one. Kind of nailed it right out of the gate.
Always good to have an 100%
I was
track
trying to
record.
look up what movies came out in 2012, and nothing good came up except The Hobbit. I saw.
2012 was the year The Artist won Best Picture. That garbage black and white film.
Yeah, nothing good came out in 2012.
There were some good video games that came out in 2012, like
Clash
Journey
Clans.
came out. With, obviously Clash of Clans. But Journey was cool. I actually only just played Journey this year. Halo
Well
4
done.
came out. Dishonored, Mass Effect 3. Let me look down this list. Assassin's Creed 3, Spec Ops: The Line, Borderlands 2, New Super Mario Brothers on the Wii U.
Game of Thrones came out in 2012.
And The Walking Dead 1 too. Simpsons tapped out for mobile games.
Oh my days. I remember playing
Borderlands 2.
that. I didn't know Borderlands 2 was that old.
And it like finally to round out our listing stuff that happened in 2012. Absolutely no good TV shows started in 2012. But The Office, Breaking Bad, and 30 Rock all in 2012, which were great shows.
That was a good little history roundup.
Yeah, I know. Like 2012 was a weird year, man. Not a whole lot happened. Probably Clash of Clans starting is probably the only significant one of the 2012 events that is still affecting my life. Oh, plus the engagement. So Clash of Clans and
Yeah, does that still slightly affect your life occasionally?
Clash of Clans and my wife.
Yeah. God, what a great year 2012 was, eh?
Yeah, it's a good save.
Which would you rank higher, Engagement or Clash of Clans coming out?
I've spent more hours on my engagement somehow because I've spent a lot of hours on Clash. Or no, well, if we're counting engagement, because I was only engaged, like we dated like 7 years, and then we were only engaged like 7-8 months. So I might have more time in Clash than I have engaged.
Oh dear.
I don't feel like that's a good thing, but all right.
Well, do you really
I mean,
think you've
it's a
been
long time
like?
span.
Do you really think you've been physically playing the game Clash of Clans? I mean, actually on the game for 8 months.
Are we counting 24 hours a day? Then
Well,
that would be surprising to me.
yeah, I
'Cause
mean,
I
like actual playtime of having the app open. Do you think you've had the app open for 8 months?
no,
I'd hope not.
that would be 8 months is like 5,700 hours. That would be a lot.
I definitely have.
Well, I'm thinking is I remember on Epic Games you could look at how many hours you've had on games there, and like I had a few months on Fortnite to be fair, and I only played that for I say only I played that for like 3 or 4 years maybe. So Clash of Clans, if you've been playing since it came out roughly, it's not unreasonable to think you could have actually got close to 8 months.
So actually, like 5,760 is the number of hours in 8 months. And if you look at that over 12 years of Clash, that's really only 40 hours a week of Clash. So that I haven't played Clash like a full-time job for 12 straight years, at least.
Yeah.
But that is like a lot closer to a reality than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Or no, that's 40 hours a month. 1.3 hours a day. Ew, that's still... Dude, literally that might be like an hour 20 minutes a day. I might have more Clash than I had engaged. Hey, but hey, like that actually brings us to the next question. What games do you think you guys have put the most hours into, like outside of Clash at least?
If you don't play any games out of Clash, then 0, I guess.
Like, you've not played any other games.
No, not really. Clash is my only game for life.
Spencer, what have you put the most hours into?
Yeah, I'm very similar to Liam. I haven't really played any other games, but I have played Super Mario Galaxy, which I grinded that game, so probably that one.
So neither of you guys are actually gamers then. You just go play Clash and that's it.
We're
Yep.
committed, loyal fans to Clash of Clans. That's what it is.
Wow.
We do one thing well, and that's Clash of Clans.
I mean, I think Minecraft and Fortnite would be the two games which I've put the most hours into outside of Clash. I mean, I did just have a look, and on my computer alone, I did play Fortnite on my Xbox bit as well. I've played Fortnite for 2 months, as in I like actually having it open for 2 months. So
It's a
yeah.
lot.
What about you, Rick? What have you played the most?
Left 4 Dead 2. I played a ton of Left 4 Dead 2.
Okay.
And then after that, probably Gary's Mod.
Oh right, okay.
A specific game within Gary's Mod, because I don't I've literally, it's the only thing I've ever done. It's Trouble in Terrorist Town, which is first person shooter precursor to Among Us. The same concept, really. Where just one person is
a first person shooter, and it's a precursor
so it's
to Among Us.
it's basically Among Us. I think I've only played Among Us for like 20 minutes. But
Right.
if instead of just running around like voting people, you all just had guns and you shot each other when you thought one person was
sick.
the traitor. And that was really fun. Like I ran a TTT server in Gmod for a long time, and like have about 1,000 hours in Gary's Mod on Steam, and that would probably be my second most played game behind Clash.
That's not bad. That's about a month and a half, probably.
All right. All right. We're half an hour in. We should probably talk a little bit about Clash, huh?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay, good.
yeah. We've got half an hour through, and we've kind of said the word Clash like 3 times or something.
Yeah. So we just finished up a month of Unlimited Heroes, and now we're into a month. We did get the full month, right, for the 12% off builders.
Yes,
Yeah.
thankfully. And I wonder if were those numbers like do they just seem to sync up perfectly, like the milestone, like just
To be fair,
on time?
maybe this felt bad for you, Liam. I saw you on Twitter apologizing for not being able to donate as much as you wanted to, and you were like, me and my clanmates are doing our best, but we don't think we're going to be able to do enough to do the 45 million or whatever. And I was like, of course you're not.
Were any of you actually like trying to donate as much as you could, or were you just like, whatever?
Oh,
No.
Because
you,
I was.
You're not even supposed to try or anything. It just does it itself.
Yeah. Like,
I mean,
this comes up every time one of these. This is the third or fourth iteration of these types of events that we've done, right? It was like Rumble. We did another one, and now there's this where it's these huge, massive numbers that, like, I don't know, like no one's individual effort is going to move the needle just at all.
No.
And a thing like total donations across the entire game is going to be fairly predictable number day to day, and they're gonna have access to that number. So it's really easy for them to say, like, hey, like, we get 1 million a day. We'll do this for a week. We'll just set the goal at, just to make it close. Like they would have set the goals to be just barely met, obviously. So there's no need to alter your gameplay at all.
Because they're not expecting anyone to actually go out their way to donate more. I mean, that would just be silly, wouldn't it? So they're not.
I thought that was what they wanted, is that everyone kind of pitches in and donates a bit more than usual, and then that helps everyone else. But
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm sure
that was the point of the event.
Were people in your clan like clearing their CCs?
I was
gems
every 10 minutes. I was clearing my CCs and donating to myself just to help the event.
Dude,
that's ridiculous. Just ridiculous. You would have been like 0.00001% of the total thing.
Well,
like, there's
isn't that the same logic you apply to voting then? Like, what's the point of voting then if you're just one overall?
but one is voting for the country. The other is contributing to a Clash of Clans event, which they've already done the numbers and realize they can do it without anyone actually trying.
I mean, yeah, I don't want to say you get more tangible rewards than for voting, but I know.
And also, Liam, like, you're not wrong about voting either. Like, that's the huge problem in, at least in America, is that like no matter what I do, like, my state's electoral votes are going to who they're going to and who they've gone to for the past 40 years.
Ooh, first past the post.
Yeah.
It's weird because I feel like people should vote, even though we all know it doesn't do anything. But if everyone believes that, I don't know. It's weird.
No, voter apathy annoys you so much. Your vote does. I don't know why I'll go off on this tangent. It doesn't actually do. It does do something. Just some electoral systems result in some people's votes mattering less and some people's votes mattering more. That's the way it is.
I mean, on the national level, but like at least the way in the U.S. too. Like, here we have one ballot, and it's everything from, like, who represents my neighborhood on the city council, which, like, I do have, like, my vote matters infinitely more than it does towards the presidential election. So there's still value in voting. I don't want to say don't vote, but they're just saying, Liam brought up a good point that, hey, in some instances, it doesn't really matter.
And by the same logic, it shouldn't have mattered for you to donate all those troops, Liam. So I hope you've now proved your argument.
All right. Unlimited heroes or 12% off builders, which one's the better for everyone?
Unlimited heroes.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Well, I feel like if your heroes are maxed, then it's kind of useless. So
but for everyone, if your heroes are maxed, or if you're maxed, then the month of 12% off builders isn't going to help you either. So
I still feel like the 12% off builder is better because it applies to more stuff than just the 4 heroes. Like,
I know,
having a hero isn't such a big deal in my opinion.
First of all, I still don't know. Does the current 12% apply to heroes, or is it only because the description says off buildings? So, like,
I think
it's
just buildings.
Does it reduce hero or not?
I'd like to say no.
Let me go.
Someone in chat is saying it does.
It does. Okay. God, I feel like it's kind of out of touch. Like,
see, no one knows. Like, this is we should know this immediately. Like, it should be obvious and it should have been explained.
Yeah. Also, I saw lots of people who were like wondering about if the boost stacks, just the length with the way they phrase it isn't always clear to everyone.
I saw there were a lot of creators asking these specific questions, and I don't think any of them got answered because everyone was on vacation in July.
But they feel like you could have answered them before you go on vacation, then, or like prepare.
Yeah. Well, that's a problem because it also wasn't announced before the July exodus.
Fair enough.
But anyway, like comparing heroes to the 12% is kind of apples to oranges, because the Unlimited Heroes event let people like enjoy the game more and fully, and it had more people participating in war, and I don't know, it was a lot better for activity, it seems. And the 12% boost is hey, that's cool, that's nice, but you reintroduce the problem of people feeling less motivated to play when they can't play at full strength. So Heroes, Unlimited Heroes, by far the better event. And hopefully they got some good data out of it that's going to encourage them to just take that full time.
Yeah.
Oh, they won't take it full time, but I imagine
Well-
they'll do something, but they're not going to give everyone unlimited heroes all the time because it's such a big revenue raiser.
I don't like, there is going to be a tipping point too, where the increased activity is going to outweigh the loss of people buying hero books. People still might buy hero books. They could adjust the price of those, because ultimately you do want to upgrade your heroes and have them at a higher level. So there's still value in hero books. It might not be 500 gems, but there's still a price worth paying for that. So it wouldn't be a complete loss of all that revenue. It would drop a little, but if there's enough increase in engagement, that hopefully is worth it.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, considering the subs reaction to Unlimited Heroes ending, I mean, constant posts, people just absolutely crying about it. I mean, you can tell which one people value more compared to the 12% off builders. Everyone loved that event, and I think, yeah, maybe they'll bring it back in some way.
Right. So, all right, moving on again. I saw this as a point made in Discord, and I didn't write down the guy's name. But basically, what he was saying is one of the big problems with Clash was that, hey, like everything can triple, and so many different armies can triple at all the different town hall levels. Like, it's not really a strategy game anymore, because there's not a whole lot of strategy really involved. Like, every army you have to kind of pick and choose, an angle to come from. But mostly any army can take any base, as long as you make some basic concessions in your planning skill. So, can you really call Clash a strategy game anymore?
Well, at least in the current meta, it does feel like you said, anything goes, especially with Root Riders and Valks now, and it rarely feels like you can't use a certain army on a base, especially not an army in like the meta. Though I guess, to be fair, it's, back in the day, pros would always use Lalo, and they'd almost always use it on every single base. And sure, they switch it up a bit. They might do Queen Charge, might do Zap Lalo or whatever. But in that sense, I guess you could argue that not much has changed. There have always been strategies which generally can just take any base if you plan well enough.
Like, Lalo was always like a much higher skill level attack. So, but now we have so many things, just like Root Riders. I'm fireballing like every single base. Like, you don't even have to get value out of a fireball. You just have to make a hole in a base to start the pathing of troops, and that's it. Like, I've never felt like I'm a particularly skilled player, and I'm regularly getting 320 days in Legends, with minimal planning. Just the same template army thrown against anything. I don't know. It doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of strategy really involved anymore.
And also, really, what costs you attacks often is silly mistakes. It's not really poor planning. Often it's just, misplaced a spell, or didn't react fast enough, or troop pass like the wrong way. Or in the case of esports and pro matches, it's people were trying to go too fast and made a silly mistake because of it. So, I mean, it sounds a bit hyperbolic to say, it's not, Clash of Clans has died. It's no longer strategy, but I do see what you mean.
A lot of it's almost pointless to compare like casual play to pro play, just because of the time meta, and you have to make different decisions with a different goal in mind. You're not trying to just triple, you're trying to triple quickly. So like the reason some of those attacks don't triple isn't the same reason that like you or I might not triple.
Yeah,
I don't know, it's weird. Like, I can pretty much triple almost every base. If I don't, it's because I made a dumb mistake. Yeah, like there's no real, like you can't defend against almost anything.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Like dragons will take any base. Root riders will take any base. Fireball into whatever, and just mass druids or witches, super witches, whatever. Like that'll take any base.
But do you find that's mostly like in war where you have time to prepare and scout, or also in Legends?
No, Legends as well.
Yeah, dude. No, I got a record high in Legends, dude. I was like, I set a new personal best in Legends, and I had set a new personal high finish, at least in cups, like not in global rankings, which I also found is a thing too. Like I always thought that your best season finish was based on trophies, because mine always matched. But now it's apparently based on your global rank. So my best season is a higher global rank than my last season, which had higher trophies but a lower global rank.
Yeah,
and I never knew
I'm
that.
surprised to see that on notice, but I guess if they're the same, then you wouldn't.
Yeah, I like. Yeah, and I've never really bothered to like care or like compare anyone else's. So yeah, I don't know. It's just it always matched, and I never really had to think about it. But we learn
But
something
is
new every
anyone-
day, even though I've spent 8 months in this game.
But is that so? Like, basically, is anyone still complaining that the game is too easy, or because now with hard mode, it's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Hard mode is bollocks, isn't it? Though
Well,
I mean,
does anyone even use it other than the pros? Like,
but the pros
or
don't even use it. I mean, it's not used in
competitive
Worlds, for
matches?
example.
They're not using it.
In Stewart's AMA from earlier this year, he did say hard mode when he first said hard mode was coming. That was like our first confirmation. He did say hard mode would be used for Worlds, and none of the qualifiers so far have used it. So, like, if that's still the plan, apparently it would be hard mode for the world, like the actual World Championship only. I don't know if they've made an announcement about the last chance qualifier that's September, if that's going to be hard mode. But also, like, the other weird thing too is druids were banned in the last monthly qualifier. Well, the last two.
I can't think of them doing that before. When new troops come out, they just ban them. I feel like they're setting a weird precedent which they haven't done before, which is the idea that all the qualifiers have to be kind of played the same, if you know what I mean. Like they have to be in the same version of Clash, so that they're. But then they've never done that before. Like when we've had balance changes or new troops or new buildings, they've never tried to do that before. So it does it does feel a bit odd.
Yeah. Like Druid came out in the middle of one of the monthly qualifiers, so I get saying, hey, like, don't use the new troop.
Yeah, I get that, but then the next one, I don't know why I was banned for that.
Yeah, like there are players who were playing there who do have like creator codes and stuff and would have had early access to the Druid. So I totally got banning it from June because people would have had more experience with the Druid. But then July, like everyone's had the Druid for a while. I thought it should have been allowed for July, but I guess if the goal was to say everyone qualifies with the same rules, like that's dumb, but I guess I understand it. I wish they would have just said that somewhere. Maybe they haven't. I missed it.
Communication isn't always the top skill.
No, it's never been Supercell strength already has it.
Not at all.
I know, like we had high hopes when like Fairy and Frame and getting extra community managers after Darian left, but apparently it hasn't really happened. Is hard mode kind of like the solution to the air quotes problem of the game being too easy?
I don't know if it is. I'm still not actually a big fan of hard mode.
Yeah, but also like hard mode's not for us. Like we're more casual. We're not trying to be the best of the best in competitions. Like I'm fine saying I'm fine saying hard mode's not for us. Literally never done it. Like not in the dev build to test it before it came out. I haven't done an FC in hard mode at all, and I haven't done a war in hard mode. I've literally never touched hard mode.
I've done a few FCs in it, but like it's not like you can notice a tangible difference.
I don't see a point for me to use it at all. I mean, I will at some point, I'm sure, but
yeah, do you still think the game is too easy?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly, and that is the problem with it. They seem to think that Legends, which is considered competitive, that's not in hard mode. world's not in hard mode. I mean, it's kind of a gimmick, isn't it? Really, no one's actually using it for anything meaningful. So what's the point?
It's for the pros, the people who were complaining that it was too easy, so that then they can stop complaining. But I feel like
But I'm still complaining. That's the problem.
I think hard mode is the solution. It just hasn't been implemented properly yet.
So make it like mandatory for CWL or
Yeah, so the main complaint is just everyone's 3-starring, and that's most important in like Clan War League and Legend League. So if both of those were designated hard modes, I think that would be the best situation.
The problem is if Clan War League becomes hard mode, if just regular Clan Wars become hard mode, then just think, oh, should we make Legends hard mode? And then you're kind of thinking, oh, well, what's the point of just having only now a small subsection of the game not being on hard mode? Yeah, and at that point, you just kind of think, oh, maybe we should just actually just change the balancing, because especially if you're doing, if you're trying to practice attacks for, say, War, just by doing multiplayer attacks, you're not doing it in the same environment, so. Yeah, it just
Exactly.
I think hard modes is just silly.
Yeah, like if there's ever wider implementation of it, like I'll start practicing on it. But like the stuff I care about, CWL, War, Legends, none of that uses hard mode. So I'm not gonna waste time getting used to the feel of different stats on all my stuff when it's not like it's. I do wonder if like practicing on hard mode makes it easier to attack on the regular mode, or if it's just going to be like I'm going to have a totally different feel for stuff.
I mean, I've done some hard mode FCs before, and it doesn't feel super different. You can just occasionally slightly tell that like your queen takes a tiny bit longer to kill a building, or something like that. But it's not like it feels like a different game in any sense.
Do you know if it changes the math on anything like Zap Quakes or Fireball and Quake and stuff? Like I don't know that it does. If it does, I definitely don't want to touch it.
I don't think it changes the mouse to Zap Quakes or anything, but no, because it what does it change again? I know it changes like
heroes. I think
heroes.
The HP of buildings. Yeah, I don't even know, dude. Like
no,
that tells you how much we use it.
It's all damage. It's all damage based, right? It's like
it's 5% damage on defenses more, and then 15% less damage from heroes and 10% less hit points from heroes.
Yeah, so Zap Quakes wouldn't be affected, but like a Fireball might if that's considered hero damage.
I don't know, but either way, I'm not gonna mess with it. If or until. And then I guess final question in this little section: is Worlds is that a joke? Now that we know everyone probably should have been disqualified for the the initial rules of the competition.
Yes, absolutely a joke, I think.
Yeah, their handling of it is a joke at the very least. I mean, the fact that they went back on their decision to ban being top for 9.
Do the exceptions to the rule become the new rule? Like if you're not going to apply the
I'm
rules.
still laughing that like in the announcement they said they were committed to competitive integrity and fair play. Like obviously you're not. This is the same message.
Yeah, no,
you can't say that in the same breath as saying like we're forgiving all the cheaters because everyone has been cheating.
Everyone's a cheater.
Right under our nose, and we haven't cared to look. But we are committed to fair play and integrity. Like obviously you're not. Like okay, I get the decision that you didn't want to wipe out the top 20 teams or whatever. But okay, you just don't pretend that like that is your commitment to fair play.
Equally, would it be the end of the world if they gave them all like a 6-month ban and said, right, sort it out, or and ban the account save board? Like, it's not like sure, like people know Tribe well, people know Queen Walk as well. There are some players which do have good recognition. YouTubers will try to use Klaus in their thumbnails every single second they can. Like, obviously, there are some players with a bit of reach. But, like, ultimately, most people don't actually care about Clash of Clans esports players, right? So, I think you could genuinely just ban most of the teams for a certain time period, at least, and just, get some new blood in, because it's not like they're the only good players in the world. There are other people, they're just not as well known, but, like, who cares? It's Clash of Clans esporting, you don't need the big names, really.
Mm-hmm. All right. Everyone, go ahead and ask questions that you would like to hear us briefly discuss too, and we're gonna pick our favorite 2 questions and give those people the CDUL war scenery. So if you have questions, drop them in the chat now. I know one of you guys. There's already a couple saved. Who's ever doing that? Thank you. First one. Are there any tips from your side for players nowadays who want to reach the top? I'm not sure what you mean by top. Like you just mean Tunnel 16 or
like the maxed out competitive scene, yeah.
Well, I don't think any of us are in a good position of authority to talk about that, are we?
I mean, Rick's a pro player.
What do you mean
here.
I am? I probably play more than everyone here combined.
And yet,
well, if you just
Don't
talking
attack.
having the game open and donating, then sure. I don't know if that's playing.
I mean, my tip would be is really just focus on getting to maxed offense, and then once you had maxed offense, then you focus on kind of skill and strategy. But I found that for me personally, it was kind of a waste of time to try and get like strategic attacks if I didn't have everything maxed, or at least the army I was using everything maxed. So that would be my tip: is to max the army you're using and your heroes first before focusing on skill.
Like if we're looking at this as like become a better competitive player, the top that way, I would say you got to surround yourself with people who have that same goal and just continue to help each other do better. You know, that's including base design and attacking, constantly doing FCs, trying new things, not getting locked into one strategy and having a few up your sleeve that you're very confident in, and just but mostly just finding a group of people, a clan, whether that's a clan or just a small side group of people who want to achieve the same goals and working together towards it as a team.
Very well put.
Next up, if Supercell truly enforced their TOS on the pros, do you think they would need to cancel Worlds this year?
Yeah. Or they'd have to at least rerun
Definitely.
all the qualifiers. Yeah.
Or they'd bring in new teams.
I made this reference like a month ago when we first talked about it, and also earlier. You know, like just handle it like the Tour de France. You know, can anyone name the winners of the Tour de France from the years that Lance Armstrong was there? Like, no, but there is technically a winner, and it's the guy who got 17th. You know, because he had the fastest finish and was clean, or at least not caught cheating. But yeah, like I don't really care if the Worlds is a bunch of teams and players I've never heard of before. Like if those are the best teams who have proven they're the best and not cheated or broken the rules of the tournament, including breaking the TOS, even in unrelated ways, then cool. Like still have that. Like I think it's a disservice to those people to say like, hey, even though everyone who beat you cheated, it doesn't matter because we don't care who you are. Like, and that's a really big thing to say. One of you, Sam, I think said yes, cancel it. Why?
Well, my main concern would be who are the runners-ups? Like, have they, like, were they even close to qualifying? Like, what if the people like in the qualifiers or at the end of the qualifiers like didn't even get to the knockout rounds? I don't quite know how many teams this would affect, but like, what if they were just people from the earlier kind of rounds that weren't live streamed or anything? Like that's my concern, that they'd literally just be like very random teams, which I guess wouldn't be a problem particularly, but I don't know. I think logistically it would be quite a challenge to them.
Yeah, there's already a tournament set up, like last chance qualifiers. Like they have the infrastructure to do another giant qualifier. If they had to go that route, because if they said, hey, like anyone in the top 300 teams, like all the top 300 would have been disqualified, and we're looking at people who really aren't that skilled in the game being in Finland. I don't know, like I think maintaining the integrity of the competition is more important than having us cheer on a bunch of no-name wieners who are gonna just fail a ton up on the stage. Like that's what you get for looking the other way for so long.
Very, very true.
All right. Next up, given the black eye that the world's got this year with players breaking the TOS, should they get rid of? When we literally, this is the same question, wasn't it?
A different person, but yeah.
Dino dropping the same question as Kat. Shame on you.
How will Supercell handle the equipment system in the future? From Emily.
I would like to add this was she did kind of expand this. She said, "We know
Yeah.
that they don't want to add hundreds of hero equipments, but after adding a few epic equipment for each hero, what will they do? Will they either stop adding more hero equipment entirely, or add 1 or 2 epic equipment per year, and that's it?" And then also, God, this is quite a lot of questions now. How will they handle the levels for equipment? They need to add new levels for hero equipment to keep up with the town hall releases, and I guess new hero levels. Knowing this, how many levels will they add to each time? Yeah, basically, what will they do with levels?
My prediction is they'll have maybe for each hero they'll have like 2 or 3 epic equipments and maybe 2 or 3 kind of basic ones. Well, they already have 4, but like maybe 5 or 6 then. And then they'll just keep. At some point, they won't be bringing in new equipment, and they'll just add the levels, make the levels kind of like the heroes, where they just keep increasing the year after year.
But there's no way they just stop releasing equipment. I mean, we're already getting pretty close to like heroes having
Do you think?
2 or 3 epic equipments.
I mean, because if they release more equipment, then they'll have to add more slots, and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see how it works, but like, surely they're just not going to abandon adding new equipment.
It might significantly slow down. I mean, look at pets too. Like we had 4 pets in 14, 4 pets in 15, and now 2 slowly for 16.
Hmm.
So it could significantly slow down at some point. Even creators don't know what the future of equipment is going to be. I assume we're going to find that out once we get our first look at Town Hall 17. But until then, I don't know. It's all we can do is speculate. I think there's still room for another common per hero. It realistically probably depends on what they're going to do with heroes. Like, do we get a 5th hero? And then there's, months where we have to catch up that hero's equipment.
And it's also worth considering the amount of ore which we're going to need. And especially with the fact that it is harder to get ore at the moment because of the state of the meta. The fact that drawing wars happens a lot, and then you don't get the 2 times ore bonus. So, there's those effects to consider as well.
New town halls often come with cost reductions too. Like, do you guys think Town Hall 17 is going to get an ore cost reduction for even for just some lower levels?
I guess it should do, but yeah, I'd hope so.
I'd like it to, but I'm not sure they will, just because of ores being kind of different currency and them just being able to be used on equipment.
It's more directly monetized, which makes it probably harder to do consistent reductions.
Mm.
All right. Next up, in the spirit of looking back at the last 12 years, the funniest, best moment in Clash for you? Maybe the best Clash Reddit, Discord, podcast, stream, post, comment moment you've seen, whatever that made you legitimately laugh out loud.
Roast.
Sad rice for you? That whole thing?
Yeah, I was thinking that, and I feel like I've told this story like 2 or 3 times on this podcast, so I'm not sure I want to again. But like, I know, very rarely does something so funny happen to me that I really can remember it in a heartbeat. Like, if someone says funniest moment, I go, oh my god, it was that. I don't know about you guys, but I know when funny things happen, they're funny at the time, but they don't really stick in my head unless they were genuinely hilarious.
Funny stuff. Liam always surprises me with hilarious weird stuff since we added him to the podcast this year. There's a lot.
Yeah, honestly, his contributions are brilliant.
I still laugh about Liam's hot take on Mother's Day.
What was that again? I vaguely remember that.
We're talking about.
Oh yeah,
we're talking about Mother's Day, and he's like, I have kind of a hot take on Mother's Day. I think we should celebrate our mothers year round.
What?
It's just all the weird quirks, isn't it? Like, even today, the fact that you were actually trying to donate more for this massive challenge. I mean, it's insane. How is that a logical thing to do? I don't know.
I wanted to help and contribute. That was the motivation.
Good stories. Have you ever watched Young Sheldon? Liam?
Yes, that is exactly me. Sometimes.
Yeah, obviously. Do you think you share traits?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, I think you do as well.
Even this morning, because we always make fun of Liam about because he tries to pretend he's American, and then when it suits him, he pretends to be Swiss or Irish or whatever.
I'm actually American. I don't pretend
now,
to be American.
now he's adjusting what nationality he identifies as based on the medal counts.
Yeah, I know. It's so convenient, isn't it? Just be able to like claim like 3 or 4 countries, and you just pick whichever one's doing the best at the time.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I have links to all those countries. It's not like I'm
Yeah,
creating links out of thin air, you know.
I have links to about 4 countries, and I'm not supporting them in like I'm only supporting one in the Olympics, the one I actually live in and am actually properly from.
Well, I only support France in the Olympics, so that's one country.
Bollocks! If America were winning right now, you would have the red, white, and blue. I guess that's France as well.
No.
You'd have the stars out. You'd be singing Star Spangled Banner. You'd be praising what's Uncle Sam. You'd be all about it.
No, I would stay with France even if they were
No,
losing.
you would not.
Which is a
No,
funny
you would
story,
not.
actually. The French TV stations, whenever France starts to lose, they actually stop broadcasting the game and switch to a different
Really?
game
That's
because
so funny.
they don't want the French population to know about it. It's so funny, yeah. But for my funniest moment on the sub, I would probably say it was probably when well, actually, I don't have a funny. Yeah. Spencer, you go first, maybe.
I've been thinking this whole time. I can't think of anything.
Oh,
It's hard though,
probably.
isn't it? Just to think
Yeah.
of a funny story, just like
Yeah.
just plucking it out of the back of your head.
I'd say maybe one of the funniest is when some user got angry at me and just started kind of going off without knowing anything about us, and it's like it really shows and reveals kind of what people are struggling with in their own lives when they kind of go off on you for no reason and they don't know anything about you, and you don't see that sometimes in mod mail. So for me, it's always interesting to see how people just lose the control over small dumb stuff. So I always chuckle at that sometimes.
Huh. I think me and you have
Okay.
very different senses of humor.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah, I
the
don't-
best thing, Sam, was your joke about the sky being up. Then how about that?
All right, we'll do one more question and then shout outs and then go. Since Sam's tummy is rumbling.
It is where it is.
Another random favorite Reddit thing. It doesn't have anything to do with Clash until this month, but one of my favorite posts of all time. Somebody asked men of Reddit who have little anime girls as your profile picture, why? And then the top response was dress for the job you want.
That is quite good.
Just looking through the chat right now, that applies to a ton of you.
There's this funny
Okay.
thing I saw on the sub today. It was on one of the anime posts. The top comment was, "I stopped watching anime after this update," which I thought was hilarious.
Okay. All right. Last question, and then we'll do shout outs. It's from Ayush. What steps do you think can bring more balance into the game? We witnessed it at Town Hall 15 where they added a bunch of overpowered defenses like the Monolith and Spell Towers. Yeah, something similar to that, but unique that you guys have on your mind?
You know,
Hmm.
it's really the heroes that are just really overpowered. So I'm saying we need at least 3 more monoliths on the base.
Yeah, I do. I think there's a lot to be said for nerfing heroes. I mean, whether they do that like directly just by reducing their stats, or whether they do it indirectly by, like you said, adding a new defense that can counter them quite well. Yeah, heroes are a lot of what's wrong with the meta at the moment, and they've just been getting increasingly powerful.
Yeah, there's not a good way to fix it too. Like imagine getting to, like Town Hall 17 is, probably going to bring us level 100 heroes,
Right.
so they can nerfing heroes it sucks because again, like heroes has been their main product. They've been selling us for so long, and giving us 5 new levels of heroes that don't really have that much stat increase is also going to suck. If they want Town Hall 17 to be a little more balanced, they're going to have to find a way to make heroes weaker or add something like counters to heroes. And I don't know what that's going to be, but that's probably the key to balance for Town Hall 17.
Yeah.
All right. Let's pick which of those questions did you guys like the best? Let's pick 2, and then I'll handle out getting them codes after this ends.
Well, I quite like the one we just answered there, thinking about different defenses and different ways we could actually tackle the balance, because it's quite easy to say the balance is screwed, and rather than actually thinking about how you actually fix it. Any others?
I liked the first one, but I think it was the same guy. So we'll just, obviously won't give him two of the same scenery, but
I like Emily's question about the hero equipment.
Oh yeah, actually,
How-
there
yeah.
was a lot of thought went into that question.
yeah, sure, okay, cool. Hey, Emily and Ayush IX, whatever your name is, send me a DM and I will get you a code for the scenery as soon as we're done here. Hope you're both still listening. If not, I'll tag you and track you down later. And else, if you, we're gonna give away 5 more. I'm gonna edit in instructions how to do that to the downloaded version of this podcast, and we'll give those away in like a week or so. The only reason I'm not saying now is because I don't really know how to do a giveaway on Twitter, but I will figure it out, and you guys can find out tomorrow.
Okay, should we do some shoutouts?
Shout outs, and then we'll wrap it up.
Well, I want to give my shoutouts to the 2 new moderators we have added since the last Royal Talks Clash, which is Royal Slush and Lady Hawk. I'm very positive all you guys probably have seen Lady Hawk, very, very active in the questions mega thread, and has always done an amazing job there, and is she's definitely proving her activity with the mod actions she's already racking up. So yeah, and Royal Slush you might also recognise for creating some very high quality concepts and data information stuff on the sub. So yeah, two great new mods, and we hope they'll be just as annoying as the rest of us. So yeah, welcome aboard, guys.
Yeah, I'll go next. So I just want to shout out to my clanmates. One of them is still in the chat, Stormy Cat. Thank you for all your help and support over the years, and as well, Space Marshals is his name, more likely called Itreza, or however you pronounce that. And he recently popped in as well. So thank you for showing up in the chat, but also for all your help and support for the Clan Alliance over the years. So that's it for me.
Shout out to Liam. I mean Vanessa. I love Vanessa a lot.
I hate you, Spencer.
All right, I want to give a shout out to Darth Yoda. He and I had a little Legends competition last month, and he ended up sharing a base that he bought with me, and it kind of got me over a wall. It was a little weird. I felt like I was just going to be stuck at like 5,700 range because I was getting 320 days and taking 320 days constantly. And then he kind of reached out, just asked me what I was up to, and we got to talking, and then he shared a base that he bought, and then that got me up to like over 6 for a little bit. So thanks to him. Shout out to Darth Yoda, and then also his clan Sons of Guns. We ended up I hung out over there on the final day, and we got 5th in the U.S. for Legends Cups. And that was kind of cool. That's the highest I've ever seen a clan of people I know finish. So congrats to Sons of Guns. And then Cosmo and Clash King have their new podcast going, and they actually made it to 3 episodes. It's a new record for Clash
Nice.
King for Magic Junior.
GG.
So you can check it out. They are only on YouTube. I'll put a link to their channel in the show notes here, but they are working on making it a real podcast and getting it on Spotify and Apple, et cetera, and hopefully they can figure that out soon. But check it out. They Cosmo is a big esports guy. Magic Junior is a big stats bot guy, super creator, and they have some pretty unique perspectives on all this stuff that's entertaining to hear. So go check out the Cosmo and Clash King podcast. And that'll be it for us. Thank you all for listening. Check out the downloaded version for instructions on how to enter the giveaway for sceneries, and we will see you all in a couple weeks.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah, see you everyone. Have a good rest of your day.